Come, Nerevar, come and look upon the heart. Hey, welcome back to another Elder Scrolls lore reading video. And today, we are going to be talking about the missing creator. Nope, not him, not him. Lorkhan, the creator, trickster, and tester of the mortal plane of Mundus. This is not going to be a video explaining the creation story of the Elder Scrolls. I want to save that for something different. This is going to be about two specific lore books that appear inside the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion. Sithis, focusing on his creation, and the Lunar Lorkhan, focusing on his death. So to quickly summarize the creation story, every culture on the planet, every religion, boils down to how that culture views the original spirit of Lorkhan. Lorkhan realized that he could not create a universe by himself. He needed help. Those original spirits who decided to lend their power to help create Mundus became our ancestors, Aedra. Those who refused became not our ancestors, the Daedra. During the process of creation, the Aedra found their power, their life force, was weakening. Some cultures believe that this was a willing sacrifice, that they knew what they were doing, and they were willing to give away a piece of themselves so that others may live, while others see this as a deliberate trick on the part of Lorkhan, forcing them to lose a part of themselves so that he can create the world that he wanted to see. This first lore book, Sithis, covers the creation of the world from a Dunmeri perspective, connecting the creation and actions of Lorkhan to that of his original primal force, Padme, or Sithis. It can be found here, inside the Chapel of Leowyn. Sithis is the start of the house. Before him was nothing, but the foolish Altmer had names for and revered this nothing. That is because they are lazy slaves. Indeed, from the sermons, stasis asks merely for itself, which is nothing. Sithis sundered the nothing and mutated the parts, fashioning from them a myriad of possibilities. These ideas ebbed and flowed and faded away, and this is how it should have been. One idea, however, became jealous and did not want to die. Like the stasis, he wanted to last. This was the demon Anui-El, who made friends, and they called themselves the Aedra. They enslaved everything that Sithis had made and created realms of everlasting imperfection. Thus are the Aedra, the false gods. That is, illusion. So Sithis begat Lorkhan and sent him to destroy the universe. Lorkhan, unstable mutant. Lorkhan had found the Aedra weakness. While each rebel was, by their nature, immeasurable, they were, through jealousy and vanity, also separate from each other. They were also unwilling to go back to the nothing of before. So while they ruled their false dominions, Lorkhan filled the void with a myriad of new ideas. These ideas were legion. Soon it seemed that Lorkhan had a dominion of his own, with slaves and everlasting imperfections, and he seemed, for all the world, like an Aedra. Thus did he present himself as such to the demon Anui-El and the 8 givers as a friend. Go unto the Sharmat Dagoth Ur as a friend. Eher Mamora, Altadun Padhome, Lakan Ai. After the world's creation, at the end of the Dawn Era, Lorkhan was killed. The heart of Lorkhan was ripped out by the elven god Trinamak. The heart was shot across the land, eventually landing in Morrowind, in what we know now as the Red Mountain. But what happened to his body? Some say he was exiled, forced to wander the world that he created, while the rest of the world suffered his loss. This story, The Lunar Lorkhan, by Faldrun, theorizes that there is actually a connection between his body and the 2 moons in the sky, Masser and Secunda. It can be found here, inside Henantir's dream world, only accessible in the quest through a nightmare darkly. I will not go into the varying accounts of what happened at the Adamantine Tower, nor will I relate the war of manifest metaphors that rendered those stories unable to support most qualities of what we commonly know as narrative. We all have our favorite Lorkhan story, and our favorite Lorkhan motivation for the creation of Nur, and our favorite story of what happened to his heart. But the theory of the Lunar Lorkhan is of special note. In short, the moons were and are two halves of Lorkhan's flesh divinity. Like the rest of the gods, Lorkhan was a planet that participated in the Great Construction, except where the 8 lent portions of their heavenly bodies to create the mortal planet. Lorkhan's was cracked asunder, and his divine spark fell to Nirn as a shooting star, to impregnate it with the measure of its existence and a reasonable amount of selfishness. Master and Secunda, therefore, are the personifications of the dichotomy, the cloven duality, according to Artaeum, that Lorkhan legends often rail against. The ideas of anima, animus, good, evil, being, nothingness, the poetry of the body, throat, and moan, silence as the abortive, and so on, set in the night sky as Lorkhan's constant reminder to his mortal issue of their duty. Followers of this theory hold that all other heart stories are mythical degradations of the true origin of the moons, and it needn't be said that they observe the hollow crescent theory as well. Hey, thanks for watching that thing you just watched. Lorkhan is such an interesting god, such an interesting idea, because you can really have so many different interpretations of it in the world, and all of them have their own little pieces of it that are right. That even just talking about the concept of it in general is very, very difficult, because you don't know which pieces of information are coming from which biased source, which ones are actively contradictory to each other, but that's kind of what makes it interesting, I feel like, at the end of the day. Like I said, just wanted to do a quick little video on Lorkhan that didn't dive too deep into the creation myths of all the different races of Tamriel, but I really, really, really want to do that in the future. So if you want to see that in the future, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment saying you want it. And it might not be the next one, but it will be a future video's next video. And as always, remember, thus you remember the tales of Lorkhan.